So I'm here at Hawaiian Sanctuary, and this is our visual meditation for today's yoga session, which I'm filming live at Hawaiian Sanctuary in their yoga slash multi-purpose room. And Brandy is the teacher. She's here on Thursdays, I know for sure, but probably another day. Just go to hawaiiansanctuary.com, find out. And she's a good teacher. Challenging. Anyways, check this out for a minute. Looks like Pele, the goddess of the volcano. Morning, everybody. It's Trayce Pjirrou with Rise and Shine Yoga. Day 11 of the 30-day Headstand Challenge, Salamba Sirsaana. And yeah, what is it, August 29th, Thursday? So I'm out here at Hawaiian Sanctuary. It's an eco retreat slash resort in Puna. And I'm in their big multi-purpose room, and it looks like there's a schedule for a yoga class right now at 9 o'clock, but nobody's here and it's only 10 minutes away. So I'm going to start doing my yoga session right here. And if they show up, I'll have to walk down to the gym, which is a little bit less commodious, or accommodating, I should say. And so I'm going to do this session right here. I had to drop my car off, mechanics, then ride up here on my bicycle. So I don't know, I'm just going to go with the flow this morning. Do some warm-ups, maybe some prep poses. I have an hour before I have to get to work. So that's good. And it's only a 10-minute bike ride from here. So here we go, warming up. Oh, rock and roll, yoga style. Body wave. Morning.
How are you doing today?
Good. Are you teaching yoga?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Brandy. What's your name?
My name's Trayce. Actually, I'm doing an online live 30-day headstand challenge.
A headstand?
Headstand challenge, yeah. 30 days, every day.
So is that what we're working on today? Since it looks like it might be a little quiet.
Well, I wasn't going to say for the class, actually, because I don't think you want it being filmed, because I've got it live on Facebook right now.
Oh.
So, I mean, it's up to you. Otherwise, yeah. What's your name?
Brandy.
This is Brandy. She teaches yoga at Hawaiian Sanctuary.
Hello.
How many days do you teach?
I teach a couple days a week. I do a gentle yoga, and
Yeah, I've been doing this online thing at home for like 3-4 months.
So what is the hand so every day is a handstand or headstand?
Yeah, I'm doing a like 7 to 10 minute handstand every day for 30 days, followed by
That's a long time.
followed by a shoulder stand and savasana.
Okay.
And I do like 20 to 25 minutes of warm-up exercises, like some poses.
Right.
And then I just go into the headstand and I'm out. I'm usually done 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes, an hour, depending on how much time I have,
Right.
But I'm perfectly willing to follow you. It will give my people a chance to do something different.
All right.
Yeah, it's just one of those things,
I do a lot of tripod headstands just because I like teaching that to people. Just because I feel like it gives them more of a base. The tripod, right?
Oh, with the hands out.
Yeah, I always teach this one just because
exactly.
I always feel like people feel a little bit more secure, and then they could also put their knees on the back,
Yeah.
It kind of helps people build confidence because we don't really have a wall around here for people to kick up to.
Oh, that's true.
And that's the first one is usually the wall, but it's actually kind of nice not to teach with the wall because if they're doing it out in open already right off the bat, then there's no
that much further ahead of the
yeah,
game.
right. No babysitter.
That's good tip. I didn't think of that. I'm always thinking of that tripod as a prep to the scorpion pose. So.
Oh my gosh, I don't even think.
Or what's the other one?
Strong crow.
The one where you put your hands out and then you do Padmasana and Salamba Sirsaana and then you bring your Padmasana down onto your thighs. So you're like this in Padmasana.
Okay.
And it grows out of a headstand, a tripod headstand.
So you're up in the headstand.
I don't know if I can do it right now. I haven't done it for a while. So you go up. You get your hands out, and then you do, if I can get into Padmasana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you get into Padmasana from here.
Okay.
And then you bring it down on your forearms. It's pretty tough. I haven't done it for a while.
I can't really do a full lotus up in the air. I never have been.
Yeah, it takes practice.
The full lotus thing, it's getting that foot to go onto the...
Right, yeah. Getting the other foot in there.
Okay.
Sometimes it's easier.
See, I can only do cross my legs and then, let me go up. Make sure I'm not cheating here. Go up. Cross my legs. See, I can't do a full, but I can
it's not easy.
I can put I have the strength to do, I think, this.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
But just doing the full lotus up in the air is even when I'm down on the ground, I'm all doing this with my feet. Trying to get them on there.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Brandy. What's your name? So, however you're comfortable, you come into Sukhasana. We're just going to start to notice our breath a little bit here. Some people find it helpful to take their right hand to their stomach, their left hand to their chest. We're just going to kind of dip in a little bit here. Hands can be where you want. This is just an aid. So go ahead and take a couple big inhales and exhales. We're going to start to work our 3-part breaths as we start to come into the space. So on a big inhale, you're going to imagine your belly filling with air, then your chest, and then you're going to take one big nice exhale. You're going to start to follow that rhythm. Taking that big inhale, filling your belly, filling your chest, and then a nice big exhale. We're just going to take these couple moments just to come into the space before we start to do the practice. moments here. Keep following that rhythm. Good. Nice big inhale. Yeah. Your chest and then a nice big exhale. We do this a few moments before practice just to kind of help us pull the awareness to our breath. That way when it's time to focus, we can pull from the breath. Go ahead and slowly start to open your eyes, releasing your hands when you're ready. There's no rush here. Or go ahead and open class with one big O. So hands can be at your heart center, or you can have your hands down by your knees.
I had to bring them down.
We're going to take a big inhale, and on our exhale we'll Om. So taking a big inhale.
Yeah, no, you want to go in there and play.
If your hands are in Anjali Mudra, you can release those down to your knees. We're going to go ahead and start with some neck circles here. So going from one side to the other. We're going to start to wake up the body. As you take these neck circles, please notice anything that might feel a little off. Making sure that you're going both sides. Maybe you notice a little tightness. Maybe you want to hold a little bit longer in one spot or the other. We're starting to warm up the body here. Go ahead and come back to center. We're going to go ahead and take our right hand out. We're going to have some peace sign fingers, and we're going to put our ear in between, and we're just going to do a nice opening of the neck and the shoulders. As we inhale back to center, we're going to go ahead and extend our left hand and do it on the other side. A big inhale, we'll release that back to center. We're going to take our hands together, we're going to clasp them, we're going to start to do some wrist circles here in yoga or anywhere really now. We're constantly using our wrists. So just like your neck, if you notice a spot that you need to pay attention to a little bit, maybe some people like to cross the fingers and just press out a little bit if that feels good. Maybe you want to go up over. Relaxing the shoulders a little bit. Just creating some body awareness here before we start our practice. Warming up the body. Go ahead and release that when you're ready. Taking your right hand, so I'll be the opposite of you. You're going to take your left hand up and over. Opening up that side body, breathing into that. On an inhale, go ahead and come back to center, going to your other side. Inhaling back to center. We're going to do a nice easy twist here. So first we're going to raise our arms up to the sky on a nice big inhale. We're really going to stretch, 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 scooping that belly in, and on an exhale we're going to start to turn over to the right side. Left hand grabs right knee, so you'll be the opposite of me. I know this is, I call right and left side. Good morning, Nina. Take a couple breaths here. If you want to maybe make this twist a little bit more, you can extend your arm or you can wrap your arm behind your back. The bind feels better. Or you can just make this easy. We're still warming up the body here. On an inhale, go ahead and start to unwind again. You're going to raise your arms back into the center. Really stretch, 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 pull, pull, pull. And on an exhale, go all the way over to the other side. Right hand grabs left knee, fingertips to the mat. Nice flat back. Same options here. You can extend out, you can take a bind. On an inhale, we're going to slowly start to unwind again. Really reaching up. And then on an exhale, go ahead and slowly fold over. Really extending the fingers as far as you can grow, spreading them wide. And on an exhale, go ahead and release all the way down. On an inhale, go ahead and start to walk your hands towards your knees. We're going to come up into a tabletop position, so you can roll up this way if you like, or you can take your knees to the side. We're going to start to stack our shoulders over our wrists, our hips over our knees, and we're going to start to come into some cat-cows here. So we're going to inhale, scoop in our back, looking up or maybe forward for cow, and on an exhale, we're going to come into cat. Really spreading our shoulder blades wide. We're just going to follow our own rhythm here, starting to link that breath to body movement. Following a nice rhythm. We start to open up the body. Take any other movements that might feel good for you right here too. Go ahead and maybe do some hip circles here. Maybe you want to look over your shoulder a little bit, maybe rock on your wrists a little bit. Center, we're going to go ahead and start to extend our hands out a little long here, spreading our fingers really wide, and we're going to start to tuck our toes in as we come up into our first down dog here. Go ahead and start to pedal up your feet here. Maybe take a look at your form. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart. Make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Go ahead and slowly pedal up your feet. Opening up those hamstrings. On a big inhale, maybe come up high on your toes. On an exhale, maybe slowly start to pull your heels down a little further, maybe not. Hamstrings are kind of their own thing. We're going to go ahead and start to take our left foot kind of in the center. We're going to, on an inhale, we're going to start to rise our right foot, coming into a three-legged dog. And then we're just going to open up our knee, stacking our joints here. Maybe doing some hip circles if that feels good. Making sure you're doing both sides. As we come back to center, coming back into that down dog, we're releasing that foot down. We're going to go ahead and raise our left foot, coming into a three-legged dog on the other side. Maybe opening up that hip if that feels good, doing some hip circles here. Really pressing into the ground. So this is an inversion, and I just want you to take a notice at your hands. Make sure their fingers are spread wide. You're bearing some weight here. On an exhale, go ahead and release that foot down. You're going to slowly walk your feet up to the top of the mat where your hands are at. And then slowly, when you're ready, on an inhale, you can swoop your hands coming up into a reverse swan dive. Taking your time here, there's no rush. On an exhale, your hands are going to come to your heart center. We're going to do some sun salutations here. For Emerson's, it's Sun A and Sun B. So we're going to start to warm up our body. We're going to start to connect to our Ujjayi breathing, which is in through the nose, out through the nose. Our focused breath, our tongue will be at the roof of our mouth. It will be audible. So we're going to start to come into our Sun A's. Is everybody familiar with the Sun A? Familiar with the yeah. I'm going to do a quick demonstration. So everybody just eyes on me for a moment. Inhale, you're going to sweep your arms up. On an exhale, you're going to fold. Hands can come onto blocks too, or on your fingertips. You're going to half lift. You can put your hands here, you can put your hands here, or on the floor. Then you're going to place your hands down on the ground if they're not. Have a few that, and then you can jump or step back, coming into a plank. You're going to slowly lower down. You can come up to cobra, or you can do an up dog, where you're pressing your weight onto the tops of your legs. And then you exhale into down dog. We'll do 5 breaths. You can step, or you can jump to the top, half lift, fold, inhale, you're going to sweep up. We're going to do a few of those. I call them the yogi burpees, because we're going to start to create some heat inside our body. If you need more fans, let me know, but we want that heat. So when we're ready, toes can be together or they can be apart. On an inhale, go ahead and start to sweep your arms up, scoop the belly in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Place your hands down, jump or step back. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Down dog. 5 breaths here. Taking a look, just really dipping into that breath. Take a look at your form. Bend the knees, look forward, jump or step. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, scoop the belly in. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll do that again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Place your hands down, jump or step back. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha, up dog. Adho Mukha, down dog. 5 breaths. Bend the knees, look forward, jump or step. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Place your hands down, jump or step back. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha, we meet in down dog. 5 breaths here. Reset the breath, reset the mind. Really pressing into the mat, expanding those shoulders. When you're ready, bend the knees, look forward, jump or step. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Just take a moment here. We're starting to create this nice heat inside our body. We're moving our prana, our life energy. Just take a few moments here. If you've lost your Ujjayi breathing, come back to it now. In through the nose, out through the nose. Our focus, center-pointed breath. We're going to do a few Sun Bs here. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate. So if your eyes are closed, maybe open them up. If you don't know what a Sun B is, you're going to sweep your hands down. You're going to come into chair. On an exhale, you're going to fold. On an inhale, you're going to half lift. Same thing. You're going to place your hands down. You're going to jump or step back. You're going to do your vinyasa. And then when you're ready, same inhale, your right foot will come forward. You're going to come into a warrior one. As you exhale, your hands are going to come down. You can take a vinyasa here, or you can just meet us in down dog. Same inhale, left foot comes forward. Doing your warrior one for a breath. Exhale, hands will come down. We're going to take that vinyasa, or just meet us in down dog. We're going to take a few breaths here. We're going to bend the knees, we're going to look forward, we're going to jump, we're going to half lift, we're going to fold, and then we're going to come back into that chair pose. And then all the way up. So more intense yoga burpee. If you need to take a break, you can in down dog. If down dog is not a resting pose for you, you can just come down to your knees. So here we go. We're going to do our sun bees. When you're ready, go ahead and swoop the hands, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Place the hands down, jump or step back. Using that vinyasa if you like. As we meet in down dog, same inhale, right foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down. Take your vinyasa. As we meet in down dog, left foot forward, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down. Taking that vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog for a couple breaths here. Maybe our heels are a little bit more warmed up. We can get them a little closer to the ground, opening those hamstrings. When you're ready, bend the knees, look forward, jump or step. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. All the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a breath. We're going to do that one more time, and then we'll be out of our sun bees. When we're ready, exhale, sweep the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Place the hands down, jump or step back. Chasing that vinyasa. Same inhale, right foot comes forward, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down. Taking a vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. Same inhale, left foot comes forward, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down. Taking a vinyasa here. We'll meet in down dog for 5 breaths. Going back to that ujjayi breathing. Refocus the mind. Refocus the breath. Bend your knees, look forward, jump or step, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. All the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Take a couple moments here. Feel that nice heat that you just created inside your body. Few breaths. Resetting the breath. Feeling that nice heat. We're going to come into our first pose here, which is a chair pose. So chair, same thing. I recommend having your toes together for chair. If you have to have them a little separated, that's fine too. We're going to go ahead and start to put our feet together or a little separated. We're going to start to push our bottom back as we start to bend our knees coming into that chair pose. And then once we can't go any further, we still can see our toes. On an inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up. And we're just going to hold our chair here. Maybe we go a little deeper. On an exhale, we're going to start to come into our half chair. So we're just going to slowly start to come down. We can keep our arms extended if we like. We can take a bind, taking our palms out if that feels good, or you can just goddess your arms if your arms are a little tired. On an exhale, you're gonna release that bind, taking your hands to the ground. You're gonna take your feet a little bit like mat distance apart. You're gonna come down into that nice yogi squat. If you have to put a block underneath there, please do so. Just take a few moments here, taking our knees and our elbows into our knees, maybe pressing in a little bit. Take a couple breaths here. Perfect time for crow pose. Awesome. If you want to start working on your crow, you definitely can. Now is the time. If you want to stay in squat, that's fine too. In squat, we're just going to step back. If we're doing crow, we're going to tuck our knees up into our armpits, and we're going to start to tip forward, looking a little bit ahead as our feet kind of come up. And we're going to step or jump back in 3. So we'll be here again. So we're going to practice this again. So ready, everybody? 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and step or jump back. Taking your vinyasa here. As we exhale into down dog. On an inhale, we're going to take our right foot forward between our hands as we come into warrior 1. You can check your feet first. Make sure they're where they need to be. They always say the back foot 45 degrees, but do what's comfortable for you. I'm more concerned that your chest is facing me more than pulling that muscle there. So if you have to ease up, or please do so. And when you're ready, go ahead and inhale those arms up. They can be separated if that's what you're used to, or you can have them together, keeping that prana inside your body, keeping those connections. Take a few breaths here. Relax the shoulders. On an exhale, we're going to start to come into our warrior 2. So you can take that foot, you can just kind of tip it to the edge of your mat. Maybe coming a little deeper in that knee as your body faces the garden. Your hands will be in the T, and then on an exhale, go ahead and slowly start to have your hands come down, coming into that T position. Gaze down the middle finger. Take a few breaths here. Really focus on that breath. Make sure that back hand is not floating weird. You can stay where you're at right here, or you can take a bind behind your back, clasping your hands together. Looking up as you inhale, and on an exhale, go ahead and start to tip forward. Not laying on that knee as you come completely down. Maybe your gaze goes to your back foot. Maybe it goes to the mat. Take a breath here. You can also work flying splits here if you like. So you can stay in the bind, but everybody else who wants to do flying splits, you can look forward here. I'm going to release my bind. I'm going to take my right hand. I'm going to tuck it under my shoulder. I'm going to place my hands. I'm going to lift my front foot, and then I'm going to tip forward, lifting my back, coming into a flying split. Flying splits is very hard. Take a breath here. You're more than welcome to keep playing. Okay. Everybody else, if they want to come back to that bind, they can. And then from the bind, go ahead on inhale, go completely up. We'll meet everybody in warrior 2. We'll take a breath here in warrior 2. And then we'll start to go ahead and take that back foot kind of forward. We're going to straighten that knee. We're going to come into our triangle pose here. So if you need a block, you can grab your block right now. Go ahead and keep your hands in the T. Your knee can be a little bent if you want to protect it a little bit. We're going to shift forward, and then on an exhale, we're going to slowly start to come down. If you grab your ankle, fine. You grab your toe. If it goes to the floor or a block, that's fine too. Yogi's choice. It's more about function here than form. Take a few breaths. Do what feels good here. Find your edge. Don't hurt yourself. Ahimsa. But find your edge. Take a breath. We're gonna go ahead and revolve our triangle. So on an inhale, go ahead and start to release whatever you have, your bottom hand, if it's in a bind. We're gonna switch our hands out. So we're gonna just go ahead and switch, taking that back hand forward as we come down into a reverse triangle. Hands can go to the floor, or they can go to a block. Perfect, everybody looks great. Working hard here. Revolving is not easy. If you need a block there, that will help a little bit in the twist. As long as your hip points are pointed down to the mat, you are good. If you've got to take a bind behind your back, if your arm is just too tired, that's good too. It's another option. Take a breath. On an inhale, we're going to start to unwind here as we come back up. We're going to put a bend back in our knee, so we might have to push that back leg out. We're going to come into our side angle. Side angle, you can have your forearm to your thigh. If that feels good as you come down, up and over, you can have your hand down if that's what you're used to, onto a block if you'd like. Take a few breaths here. Yogi's choice. Everybody's side angle looks beautiful. Everybody has their hip dropped. Wonderful. Take a few breaths. If you're like, oh, I want to get out of this side angle, you could go ahead and maybe start to take a bind in that front leg. So taking that bottom arm, you can start to wrap it. Wrap your top arm around. Coming into a bind, you can take that back foot forward. Coming into a bird of paradise, if you like. Yogi's choice here. You can just stay with the bind if that feels good. If that's too much, go ahead and come back down. You can play a little bit, or everybody else in side angle. Go ahead and start to cartwheel your hands down. We're going to do it again on the other side. Go ahead and take a vinyasa here if you like, or just meet us in down dog. From down dog, we're going to take a breath. You can come down to your knees if you need a break. Everybody else, go ahead and start to put their forearms to the floor. We're going to come into a nice dolphin pose. Take a few breaths here. Maybe you want to lift your foot up one at a time. Maybe you want to try a pincha. Now is the time. If you want to do an inversion. If you want to do your headstand, you can do a headstand here. If pincha is a little too much. Pincha, what you're going to do is you're going to walk your toes in as far as you can. You're going to make sure that you have a wheel down. You're going to look between your fingers, and you're just going to come up. Tucking that knee into glute. Seeing if you can find some pain time here. Take a few breaths here. Reset the breath. Reset the mind. We're going to slowly, from our pincha or headstand, if you're in that, slowly start to come down. We'll meet in down dog. Coming up to down dog. You can step or jump to the top of the mat. And on an inhale, go ahead and reverse swan dive all the way up. We're going to do that all on the other side. As you exhale your hands down. We're going to do a chair pose again. This one won't be so long. So start to set your chair up. Go ahead and start to bend your knees. Coming into that chair pose. On an inhale, you're going to sweep your arms up when you're ready. Take a couple breaths here. You won't be here too long. Maybe you want to do it a little deeper. Imagining your thighs squeezing together. On an exhale, go ahead and start to come into that half chair. Squeezing those thighs together. Take a couple breaths here. Hold, hold, hold. And then on an exhale, go ahead and release those hands down. Coming into that nice yogi squat again. Releasing your hips. Maybe you're nice and warmed up now. You can get down a little deeper. Take a few breaths here. You can start to work your crow if you like. We can do a crow jump back. If you want to just do a squat and step back, you perfectly can. So crow, go ahead and take those knees, tuck them into your armpits, tip forward, squeezing your belly in. We're gonna step or jump back in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Take your vinyasa. Everybody will meet in down dog. On an inhale, taking that left foot forward, coming into our warrior one on the left side. Maybe taking a moment to look at your feet. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, sweeping your arms up. We're working hard here. Take a couple breaths. I'm going to turn on another fan. We want to keep that delicious heat in as much as we can, but we also don't want to be in hot yoga. This is not a hot yoga class. So take a few breaths here. On an exhale, go ahead and start to come into your warrior two. Your body's going to be towards the DJ side. Taking a look here, we'll take a few breaths in our warrior two. Resetting our breath, resetting our mind, staying focused. We're working hard here. We're doing good work. We're taking care of our body so we can take care of our mind. You can stay right here if you like, or you can start to take that bind behind your back, clasping your hands together, or however you can take a bind. On an inhale, you're just going to look up, and on an exhale, you're going to start to come down into that beautiful bind fold. Gaze to the bottom of the mat or to the back of your foot. You can stay here in this bind if it feels really good. Make sure you stay off the knee. If you want to try flying splits, you can release that bind, taking that left hand under that left leg, kind of scooting it up onto the shoulder. You're going to place your hands down. They're going to be shoulder width apart. As you start to wiggle that front foot out, you're taking that right foot back up, coming into a flying split. It's fun to play. If you don't feel like playing, you are good. Even if you do just some parts of it for now, just to see how it feels in your body, that is good too. You're exploring, you're trying new things. We should never stop doing that. So if you still want to play, go ahead. Everybody that's in that bind, go ahead and start to release the bind as you come up into that warrior two. Take a breath here. We're going to start to work our triangle. So if you need to grab your block, go ahead and do that. You can scoot that back foot in. I always have to. Resetting the knee, taking a break from it. We're going to shift forward. And then on an exhale, your hand can come down to a block, to your ankle, to your toe, whatever is easiest for you. This is an Ashtanga top triangle, not a Hatha triangle. Unless you want to do a Hatha triangle, your choice. I like the Ashtanga one better because my hand is grounded. So take a few breaths here. A little lazy that way. Reset the breath. When you're ready, go ahead and slowly start to come up. We're going to reverse our hands here. So we're going to revolve our triangle. So we're taking that back hand forward, coming down to where we can come down. And lifting our left hand up. Maybe we bind if that's too much for our hand. We have options here. Don't hurt yourself, but find your edge. On an inhale, we're going to come up, just slightly taking that bottom hand up. And then we're going to start to come into our side angle. So we're going to start to rebend that knee. Then we're going to place our forearm maybe to our thigh. Maybe we come completely down, coming into that side angle. Scooping the belly in. Take a few breaths in your side angle. Dropping that top hip. If you like, you can go ahead and maybe take a bind if you want to. You can stay where you're at, or you can start to take that top hand, wrapping it around your back, taking that bottom hand, wrapping it around, coming into a nice bind. Sometimes that's nice to take a break. Maybe you want to come into birds of paradise. You're going to walk that back foot in, You're going to start to lift the front foot, coming into bird. If you like, maybe half moon. Yogi's choice here. Good job. You guys look good. Awesome, Nina. Good work. It's all just practice, is all it is. If you want to play, go ahead and keep playing. Everybody else, go ahead and start to release that bind out of that side angle. Go ahead and start to take that top hand down. Take a vinyasa if you like. So walk your feet back, coming into that plank. Taking a vinyasa here. We'll meet and down dog. Take a couple breaths here. You can come down to your knees if you need to. Or you can start to work another dolphin. Pressing the forearms into the mat. Maybe you want to try pincha here again. Maybe you're more warmed up this time. Maybe another headstand. If you like, these are choices. Or maybe you just come down to your knees for a break. That's perfectly okay. Some days are stronger than others. So we'll take a couple breaths here. Good job. Take a few breaths here. If you're in headstand or pincha, slowly start to come down. Coming back into that down dog as you start to lift those forearms up. We're going to go ahead and just walk our hands up to the top of the mat. As we inhale, we're going to roll up and we're going to face the garden. We're going to do a nice forward fold, a wide leg forward fold. So go ahead and get long on your mat. About 3 feet apart, or whatever's comfortable for you, you know. I want you to think about taking your toes in like a pigeon toe. That way you kind of protect that lower back before you fold down. That way you've got that pelvis kind of tilted forward, which is what we want, squeezing our glutes. We're going to go ahead and take a fold here. So when we're ready, we're going to go ahead and let's just walk our hands down for a flat back. So maybe it's right above your knees, maybe it's right below your knees. Come into a flat back for a moment. And then on an exhale, slowly start to come completely down. Maybe your hands come to blocks. Maybe they come to your ankles. We're going to take a couple breaths here. We worked hard. We're going to reset our parasympathetic nervous system for a moment here. Make us feel good. Take a few breaths. You can also, if you're just like, I want to keep going, you can do a straddle press headstand from here if you like. So your hands will be in front. You're going to tip your head back if you decide to do the headstand, and you're going to just take your legs and come up. If you want, this is a yogi's choice, or you can stay in the fold. Take a couple breaths here. Reset that Ujjayi breathing. If you're in the headstand, slowly start to come back. Take your hands in front of you, and we're slowly going to start to slide down. So if this is like too much for you, you can just come to your bottom. But we're just going to see how far we can go. Everybody's a little different. Just see how far we can go. And then once we find that edge, we're not hurting ourselves. Just take a few moments here. Maybe we can increase our flexibility a little bit. And then when we're ready, slowly just come down onto your bum. However you can come down to your bum. I don't expect everybody to be able to do a middle split. That's a lot. Oh, and now in a nice wide leg seat here. We're going to take a moment here just to take a look at our legs. Make sure our toes are pointed up and our knees are kind of, we can just kind of take our thighs a little bit and roll them back. Just to kind of make sure we're sitting correctly. Sometimes we're not, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and do a pancake fold. So if you need to have some blocks in front of you, please, I have them for you guys just in case you need them. Go ahead and start to walk your hands out a bit, as far as you can go. And then once you can't go any further on an exhale, go ahead and start to come down. Feel what's comfortable here. If you gotta bring your legs in a little bit, that's fine too. So just kind of take a couple breaths here. See if you can start to feel the muscles that are in that inner thigh around the groin area, your psoas. Maybe we can start to stretch that a little bit. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, you're going to slowly start to walk your hands back. When you're ready, taking your time. And then you're just going to take your legs, you're going to take your hands underneath those knees and you're going to swing to the front of your mat. Everybody face the front. You're going to bring your feet forward and just give them a nice big shake. Shake those legs. We work them. You get quite a bit of folds there. Make sure they're still feeling good. And then when we're ready, we're going to go ahead and swing our feet over to the side. We're going to come to standing at the top of our mat. You can take a vinyasa here if you want to, or you can just walk to the top of your mat. We're going to do a nice forward fold here instead of sitting forward fold. So as we're standing here, we're going to go ahead and place our feet where we're comfortable, because if we're going to make this forward fold feel good, we're nice and warmed up, so we should be able to go into this. So when you're ready, either feet together or apart. On an inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up, scooping our belly in. And on an exhale, we're going to slowly come down, our belly to thigh. Maybe our hands come to blocks or to the mat. We can have peace sign fingers, can grab our toes if that feels good, or maybe just the backs of the ankles. And then on an exhale, go ahead and release that neck. Maybe you start to straighten your legs a little bit more. Make us feel good for a couple moments. Release any bind that you might have on your feet or legs. And then on an inhale, go ahead and slowly reverse swan dive all the way up. Taking your time, making this feel good. And on an exhale, go ahead and have your hands come to your heart. We're going to go ahead and do intense leg stretch, which some forms call it pyramid pose.